Hi, I'm Ren.
I'm Sam.
I'm Tosh.
And
we're
we're
the
the
T
T-Swift
Swift sisters.
Welcome back to the T-Swift Sisters podcast, a Taylor Swift fan podcast for Swifties by Swifties. In today's episode, we're talking Taylor Swift and the Kelce brothers, because yes, we have to discuss both, and the 2024 Grammys, which are just a few weeks away. Here's this week's Swift Scoop. Also, guys, just letting you know, today's episode is hosted by Sammy and I. Tosh will not be joining us today. She's enjoying a nice little January vacation, so you can roll your eyes at her. We totally agree, but we're going to have fun nonetheless. So I'm going to kick us off with a super fun story this week because it not only involves Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but we also get to bring Jason Kelce truly into the equation for the first time.
Ooh.
Yeah, everybody's calling him the king of Tavis Nation, and I'm so here for it because he just had the absolute time of his life with football fans, Swifties, everybody at the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills divisional game this past Sunday. So our real story starts with Travis Kelce scoring his first touchdown in 8 games this week during the game. So
Wow.
yeah, if you're not like big on football, Travis Kelce kind of had a slower season this year. A lot of dads, Brads, and Chads were blaming it on Taylor, but I mean,
Course.
yeah, as if like Taylor hasn't been dating Travis Kelce, like he wasn't dulling her shine while she was on stage and they were dating. So why does it have to be Taylor Swift's fault that Travis Kelce isn't performing this year? Like he's an
Also,
old man.
what a lame excuse from like a grown man be like, oh yeah, it's that girl that's distracting our boy. Like what?
It's the girl who's in the suite, like 500 feet in the air from where the field even is. Like she's just ruining absolutely everything.
God.
So yeah, it was a big deal that he scored his first touchdown in 8 games, but also it was a little bit what happened after the touchdown because he scores the touchdown and he threw up the fearless hard hands.
I can't.
No, like I honestly I don't want to say it, but it has to be said. Iconic, truly.
that is the iconic moment of this episode. Him throwing up the fearless heart.
And the thing is, he not only threw the fearless heart once, but he did it twice. He did it like when he was practicing before the game started and they were booing him because like the Buffalo, like the Bills Mafia, that's what they call themselves. They're like very, very passionate, I would say is the right word. So they were booing him and he like threw the hard hands like, what's up guys? And then he scored through the heart hands. We love it. But at the game, like we were saying, the Bills Mafia is very aggressive, very passionate. So the entire tailgate was filled with Taylor haters, and I can't. Like, if you see the video of her motorcade coming in, people are booing her. And I'm so, like, I have to say, I'm so proud of her for being so nonchalant about it all. Like, I feel like old Taylor would have just, like, it would have affected her so much. And it's so nice to see her in such a good place that, like, people are booing her literally, like, 2 feet from her face. And she's like, best believe I'm still bejeweled, babe.
Especially since she's going into, in a way, territory that's not her own. Like a whole other world. She's stepping into a whole other fandom. Like that's a serious, like you said, passionate, at times aggressive fandom. So kudos to her for keeping strong and kind of realizing like, yeah, like this isn't really my place, but I'm still going to be here and I'm going to do my thing from 100%. My man.
Yep. And I'm sorry to anybody here who is a part of the Bills Mafia or is like a Buffalo Bills fan, but the Buffalo Bills are dead to me. So I mean, like already, yeah, I already did not care about them before. And as of yesterday, I absolutely never want to see the Buffalo Bills ever again.
They're dead to me.
They are DTM. They are dead to me. I'm honestly like appalled that I'm even saying these things on the pod. They were literally burning pictures of Taylor Swift at the tailgate.
Sorry?
Yeah. They had signs that said, welcome to Buffalo, Taylor Swift, you suck.
For what? For what?
No, yeah. Like I was actually having this conversation with my dad a few minutes ago because he is absolutely so passionate about dads, Brads, and Chads hating on Taylor Swift and the NFL. And like, he is like, that guy is born and raised on football. I don't think there's 1 second in his life that passes that he's not thinking about the NFL. And he's like, I can't believe these men and blah, 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 blah. What, he's like,
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, they act like she's literally the one playing the game.
Right. She's the one on the field.
She is the football, actually.
It's embarrassing because you have these, like we just said, these grown men, but like they'll spend every minute talking about how, she does this and she brings all this negative attention. Like, it's you. Like, you're the problem. Hi. Burning Taylor pictures or like even making signs about her. I love the energy that you're wasting on this because you're still giving to Taylor, at the end of the day.
100%. And it's funny because there are also, like, as if there wasn't already a Taylor Swift lyric for everything that happens in life, there are now Taylor Swift lyrics for these moments. Like, they're burning all the witches, even if you aren't one. But you know what? Light her up, baby. She's still gonna shine. Best believe I'm still bejeweled. Look at that sign. Must have taken all night. You need to calm down. Like, she's ready for it. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that.
Really? The rep standing, you didn't mean to do that?
It comes naturally almost at this point. But also the part that Jason Kelce comes in, that's what I really wanted to talk about, is that he was in the absolute best mood ever. Whether or not he's retiring, nobody's really sure yet. He was a little bit unclear on his episode last week of their podcast, the New Heights podcast. But he was living it up in the suite with Taylor, Brittany Mahomes, Cara Delevingne was there.
What?
Yeah, I haven't heard or seen about her in forever, and she was in the suite with Tay last night.
Especially associated with Taylor.
Yeah, she was in the suite. I'll have to share. I believe she's in one of the pictures that Brittany Mahomes posted. I'll have to see if she is. If not, we'll see like what magazine outlet has one of the pictures that she's in there. But she was there. So they were just popping off in the suite. Jason Kelce was having the absolute time of his life cheering on his brother. The Kelce brothers are just like hitting so close to home. I've recently found out this week that the reason why Travis wears number 87 is because that was the year Jason Kelce was born.
Stop. What?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. I literally almost started crying. I was like, okay.
Who would even?
Yeah. So it gets even better. Jason Kelce popping off with his shirt off, jumping out of the suite. He was like, Taylor, last week hanging out of the suite, hold my beer, babe. I'm going to literally jump out shirtless and talk to people, take pics with fans. And then the absolute best thing happened. His girl dadness, it just came through like a ray of light. He spotted a baby Swiftie in the crowd who had a sign that said, it said Buffalo Bills plus Taylor Swift equals best first game ever. And he called her over and he was like, we need to show this to Taylor really quickly. And he picked her up so that she could hold her sign in front of the suite and see Taylor.
Stop. What a girl dad. Also, he's such like a grizzly bear. Like he's very like rough. I love that he's like this. He's a literal teddy bear.
He's a literal teddy bear because you think that he's like this aggressive, mean guy. Right. And then he does things like this and you're like, oh my goodness. Like I just know that you're the best dad to those two little girls.
Right. I can't pick one brother over the other. They're like equally amazing.
Every time I'm like, I love you, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce does something that I'm like, you are absolutely the most perfect human ever.
A literal king.
Have you watched their documentary yet? The Jason Kelce documentary on Amazon Prime?
No, I haven't yet.
Hey, I'm influencing you to do it. You have to do it. I really didn't know much about like the Kelce brothers' journey, all of that stuff. And a few months ago, I sat down, like I knew about them, especially with their whole thing of the brothers Super Bowl thing last year. Right. And then a few months ago, we watched the Jason Kelce documentary and I was like literally crying at the end. Like I could not peel my eyes away from the TV. Perfection. I absolutely love their little family. And hello, Kylie Kelce is actually a Pennsylvania local. Born and raised in Pennsylvania, so her and Tay are just now the queens of Pennsylvania. Like,
that's really on brand.
Yeah, we don't make the rules.
as you're talking about like what he did, like going out of the box and like talking with fans, just thinking about like their nature, like the Kelce brothers and their family and their upbringing, I really feel like it just works so perfectly for Taylor. Like, no wonder they're a perfect match. It just blends so well. Like knowing her background and they're
It's
perfect.
literally a perfect fit. Like
Wise.
yes, everything. Like just like from beginning to end, they are truly like almost the Romeo and Juliet of America right now. Like, and
Our
it just,
royalty.
yeah, they're literally our royalty. And the thing is, every single aspect of the relationship is perfect, from the way that or what we see, how he
Right.
treats her, the way they interact with each other, the way that they cheer each other on, the way that their families mesh so well, the way that the history of things works out, like Taylor's family being Eagles fans. There's just so much, and it just makes me value their relationship even more.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And then it's also the way that we see Taylor in this relationship, the way that we see her carrying herself, having the ability to talk to fans, to hang out in a football suite, not care that the fans for the other team are booing her. Like, I think it's just literally the epitome of like perfection. And I truly hope that if this is the relationship that's like meant to last for her, that it does, kind of thing. Like, I just hope that she and Travis like are happy forever, for the rest of forever.
Thriving.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned the possibility of, we're not really sure when, of, Jason going into retirement. And just thinking about it, how he was at the game and how fun and supportive he is. Even if he goes into retirement soon, like, that's okay. We see like what a good brother, what a good relative he is, supporting his family and having fun with Taylor and friends. Like, he's going to do just fine. And we're not done seeing him.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I wonder also if this means, like, if he does go into retirement, maybe the North America shows next year, his daughters get a chance to go see Taylor. Like, that would be so amazing. I'm just so excited for, like, what's to come for the Kelces in general. Jason, Travis, like, it's going to be an amazing year. And I'm so glad that, like, Swifties get to be a part of it now.
Yeah. See, we're excited to join them, whereas like the football fans are like, get away from us.
Literally. And another thing that I was telling my dad, it's like all of this garbage that these men are like talking about it, but the NFL is benefiting so much from Swifties. Like, the amount of Swifties who are first time football interested because of Taylor Swift is absolutely incredible. And like, they called her the princess of Kansas City, and she truly is. And like, she's also the princess of the NFL right now. So like, back the F off, leave her alone. She's also Miss Americana. Like, when are people going to learn?
They'll be thanking her soon.
It's just because we're so ahead of the game. Like, we have 2006 plus on these people.
Oh boy, yep.
And they're just starting to learn. They're like, what is this weird cult? Like, please, we'll let you in if you're nice to Taylor. That's all it takes.
It's the Swift effect. You'll get used to it.
Yeah. Okay, so I just also wanted to go over some basic things you need to know if you're like a football newbie or an international fan who's just kind of getting into the sport, and what's going to happen next with the Kansas City Chiefs and like the way things are going, because I feel like it might not be super clear if you don't really know football. So basically, what's going to come next for Taylor and the Kansas City Chiefs, because she truly is their mascot right now. The Chiefs will face the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore for the AFC Championship this Sunday, January 28th. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and the game will air on CBS, which should be pretty like a local news channel for anybody here in the US. If you're an international fan, I'm not really sure how that works, but you can maybe like Google search, what streaming platforms play American football. These are like these are the two only football games that will be airing for the time being, so it should be easy to access them. But you want to look for the Kansas City Chiefs versus Baltimore Ravens game to find it. And then the way it works from that is that the winner of Sunday's game will take home the AFC Championship, and they will advance to the Super Bowl, which will be Sunday, February 11th. So this week is Sunday, January 28th. there's a week in between the championship games and the actual Super Bowl to give the players some time to rest, to kind of figure everything out. The Super Bowl is like a huge thing here in America. It's a big thing here. It's like a coronation if you're from the UK. So they will play the winner of the NFC Championship game, which will also be this Sunday, January 28th, which is at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that one airs on Fox. So the winners of this week's game, there's 4 teams left. There will be 2 winners that advance to the Super Bowl, and they play on Sunday, February 11th. But the fun thing to note here is that if you're keeping up and you're a super huge Chiefs fan now and they win the AFC Championship title and move on to the Super Bowl, Taylor's schedule kind of works out so that she'd be able to go.
Ooh, so maybe we might see her. Happen.
Yes. So I don't think that if like the Chiefs don't beat the Ravens and they don't go to the Super Bowl, that she'll still go to the game. I think it's literally dependent on the Chiefs winning. But I think if they win, she's going to the game because the way her schedule works out is that I believe she's in Australia that weekend. And then the last show was on Saturday. So she'd be able, and then the next show was like a few days after. She'd be able to come back from Australia, watch the game in Vegas, and then like go back to tour.
It sounds too perfect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it sounds too perfect, but also like for non-football Swifties, Patrick Mahomes and his like the word is like almost there. I can't say it, but like passion for football really, and like the way he plays under pressure is so iconic that it's almost like you'd be more shocked that they're not at the Super Bowl because it doesn't matter how they play all season. If they make it to the playoffs, like they're going to the Super Bowl kind of thing. They were saying some stat that like in the 8 years that Patrick Mahomes has been starting for the Kansas City Chiefs as a quarterback, they've made it to the playoffs every year. Like he is that good of a QB. So if they make it to the Super Bowl, best believe Taylor Swift is going out tonight. She's going to be there.
Yay.
Yeah. And that's all I have to say on that.
Well, it sounds like February is going to be a pretty big month.
Mm-hmm.
Also in February, we have the Grammys coming up. And that's going to be pretty big because we have Taylor up for 6 nominations. So she's tied for 3rd most nominations.
Ooh. Who else is like nominated that much?
Well, so the top is actually SZA, which is super cool. And we also have like Phoebe Bridgers and some other great artists. But I think she's really killing it because she's got a great span of categories. I'll go through them with you. So she's up for Record of the Year for Antihero.
Okay.
Album of the Year, Midnight. Song of the Year, Antihero. Best Pop Vocal Album for Midnight. Pop Duo / Group Performance for Karma featuring Ice Spice. And Pop Solo Performance for Antihero. So Antihero's killing it.
Yeah. So do you know, and it's totally okay if you don't, I just wanted to see if maybe you know, but what the difference between Record of the Year and Song of the Year are?
So not specifically those 2, actually. What I was more curious about was like the album versus Best Pop Vocal Album because I thought there could be a lot of overlap since I saw her nominated in a lot of categories.
Right.
For Record and Song, I don't know what the difference is with those, but I feel like Record, the way I was reading it is like Record is just like, I feel like this also applies to Song, like the iconic single that was released had like the, I guess, biggest impact.
Right.
But I'll have to dig around more to see like specifically what the Grammys classifies as the difference. In terms of like pop vocal and record, an album of the year, the pop album, according to the Grammys, is presented to the artist that performs albums containing at least 51% playing time of newly recorded pop vocal tracks, which I thought was interesting. So if anyone worked like less than 51% on the album, then they wouldn't qualify. They could get like a certificate actually, which is pretty interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't even know that like artists could work less than 50% on like an album.
Yeah, and it qualifies also for like the engineers on the song too. So
Okay.
So that's why it would be like her and Jack Antonoff in that category. And then album of the year, so that's to honor like artistic achievement. So like overall excellence, like the technical proficiencies, all of that in the recording industry. And it doesn't take into account like the album sales or the chart position, which I think is pretty cool. It's really looking at like the quality of the album itself.
Like everything behind it.
Exactly. And that one's actually the most prestigious. So out of everything for the Grammys, that's it. And of course, our queen, Taylor's up for that one. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And we know that she's won Album of the Year 3 times. And she's been up against like amazing people in history. Like she's the only female artist, but she's been like up there with Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder when it comes to getting 3 awards for Album of the Year for the Grammys.
Wow. So it's like not, it doesn't happen often that like you've received the award.
Right. One of them, I think it was Stevie Wonder, had it consecutively, which was pretty cool. So she has it for Fearless, for Folklore, and for 1989, which is amazing. Love that for her. And fun fact, she has won 12 Grammys in her time and has had 52 nominations.
Oh my God, 52 is a lot.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's literally a Grammy nomination for every week of the year.
That's so true. That's so true. And I have to give, my shout outs to, other great people like Paramore for Best Rock Album. It's got to be Decode, right? And Jack Antonoff for Producer of the Year. That's awesome.
Oh, he's nominated for Producer of the Year?
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. So we're going to see a lot of great people along with Taylor at this year's Grammys.
Yeah, and it's really fun that actually the Grammys are on February 4th. So it's right before Taylor jet sets to Tokyo. Fetch or stretch, Taylor accepts the Album of the Year award and says, by the way, I'm releasing Reputation Taylor's version.
Just casually like that?
Yeah, like very Midnights. She's like, oof, Midnight's era is officially over. Now that I won this Album of the Year, there will be no explanation. There will just be Reputation. Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls. So she's going along with the trend of dropping announcements at award ceremonies.
Yeah, like fetch or stretch.
I think it's so fetch, mostly because I want anything for rep. So
I think we're just going to have to wait and see. February is now only a mere weeks away. We are just almost at like Eras Tour starting up again. We're going to know soon. What
if it's like the total opposite? Like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. Here's Reputation.
Do you think if she does that, she drops the whole album or just like it's coming out this day?
That would be so extreme if she drops the entire album. Like no hype, no.
I know, but like the whole quote around Reputation is there will be no explanation. There will just be Reputation. Like she's not going to say anything. She's literally just going to be like, here you go. But I think in like terms of money, it can't happen.
Right. Right.
Because they need to
she'll announce it in that type of way. Like it's coming.
Yeah.
Here's a date.
Like we usually for like all of the other album releases, we get like a whole paragraph or like.
Right.
Yeah. And then this one, she's just like Reputation out, whatever.
Right. Maybe not even outfit changes before she announces it. Maybe outfit changes after we know it's coming, like the day of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like that meme of like the body like resurrecting. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode, but I'm glad we got to clown a little bit about rap, talk about the Grammys because they're literally so soon. I'm so excited. So many amazing performers too. I think Dua Lipa's performing, so I hope that she performs Dance the Night. Is that the one?
That one's so good from Barbie. Yeah.
Yes, I love that
she's up
song.
for another award. They're up for a Grammy along with like Oppenheimer and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, because they do like musical score and stuff like that too, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So it's officially award season now too, which is amazing. We started off with the Golden Globes. We recapped that like 2 weeks ago. We have some other award shows coming up that we'll talk about too. Maybe next week we'll cover the iHeartRadio Music Awards. Those are also coming up. It's just always fun to see Taylor nominated for things. And if you're actually like a Swiftie who's active on social media and you're not following Taylor Nation on like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, they'll have like afternoons where they'll just log on and like encourage you to vote for Taylor. So it's really fun. You get to meet a bunch of fun Swifties that way too. But yeah, we're just like getting started. Go for
What do
it.
you think she's gonna wear? Like,
To the Grammys?
Yeah. What are we thinking? What are our predictions?
So if the Golden Globes, she did like that green, debut versus Reputation dress, I think the Grammys are really going to tell us what's coming. Like, she also stepped out in like snake boots a few weeks ago or like
Right.
last week. So I don't know. Maybe she wears something like super rep coated.
Are we gonna get like a black dress? I don't think we'll get another green. Like
Yeah,
it's
I don't think we'll get another green. And like the thing is, she also recently did black. She did black for that award show. Was it the VMAs? I think it was the VMAs or the AMAs, one of the two. The night that she was just like cheering everybody on,
right.
that was a black dress. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get like a pattern dress or something. Who knows? We'll just have to see. We just have to wait and see. I don't know.
I want to hear what the people think.
I know. Yeah, guys, you have to let us know. Either leave it in our Q&A at the end of this episode, or if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Tell us what you think. I know sometimes some of you get mad at us for clowning, but like I said,
I was about to say, yeah, like we're not crazy. We're just having fun.
It's just all lighthearted fun. We don't like super expect anything from Taylor. We're not like, give it to us now, Taylor.
Please know we're just joking. Give it to us now.
I mean, if she wanted to give it to us now, like Getaway Car Taylor's version, please.
Oof.
I wish. I don't know. Our Don't Blame Me. No, Don't Blame Me is track 4. And Look What You Made Me Do is track 6, right? Yeah. If only they were back to back. And then on Reputation Taylor's version, she did the interlude of Don't Blame Me for What You Made Me Do.
I need that on Spotify.
No, literally, like, I was going to ask you, I wasn't sure what you thought if Jason Kelce was screaming from the top of his lungs with his shirt off out of the suite because Travis Kelce scored, or because he heard the Don't Blame Me to Look What You Made Me Do interlude.
No, but that's me when I hear the Don't Blame Me interlude.
I know. Like, I feel like that could be him also. Like, he hears it and he's like, shirt rips off. Yeah.
That's why I need to see him at Eras Tour. Please.
Please give us the content. This is what we are demanding. Jason Kelce at the Eras Tour. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
If it's not the Kelce brothers at the Eras Tour, I don't want it. Or Reputation Taylor version. I mean, that kind of goes in there too.
Yeah, we're not picking either one. Or both.
Preferably both. Okay, but now that officially wraps up this week's episode of the Tea Swift Sisters podcast. Before we log off, please remember to follow our podcast on your listening platform by clicking the plus button next to our show. Give us a rating. Download the episode if you know that you want to listen. It just came out and you're headed somewhere where you're going to be offline. Just download the episodes and you'll get to listen to us whenever and wherever. It's totally amazing. Follow us on social media for live Taylor Swift news updates and so much more, like Jason Kelce listening to Don't Blame Me, Look What You Made Me Do interlude with his shirt off. Like, I hope you never picture it a different way again. Like, you see that picture and you're like, that's what he's listening to.
No, that is Jason's version and I'm here for it.
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Tea Swift Sisters Pod or Twitter/X at Tea Swift Sisters. Thanks for savoring this week's Swift Scoop. We hope you've had your fill of all things Taylor Swift, and we'll see you next week right here on the Tea Swift Sisters podcast. Bye.